Welcome to Sychai. This is the Wonder Woman 1984 review. So, let's get into the plot. Because first, I've just told you that I'm going to introduce you to what's going to be happening throughout this review. My last talk was about what we're going to be doing differently from this. It's going to be a longer series, so tune in for more. But let's go over the plot first and foremost, which I have to say was the most confusing part of the movie. Now, the biggest problems for me, actually, let me go through this a little bit more, because this isn't going to be a straight plot. The biggest problems for me with this plot was the fact that it was supposed to make sense, but it didn't. So let's get started. So first and foremost, Diana Prince is at this age they don't really say her age, but they say that she is, looking from her, she looks about 8 or 10. And so right now she is at the beginning, she was pretty much participating in this Themyscira kind of trainer warrior gold standard kind of thing event where to just bring out the best of the warriors, to show who's the best, who should be the leader, even though they never really understand, like we never understand who the leader is, because we know that her aunt is, I always mess up her name, but her aunt is literally the leader of the group, so I don't know who they're leading. But let's get into that. So what she does is she goes through this obstacle course and ends up cheating. So she gets hit by a branch, falls down, she doesn't get all the markers, and so she takes a shortcut. And that whole scene is set up to tell you that no person is born out of lies. Don't have to worry about that plot, because that's not really, it's kind of the end of the movie, but at the same time doesn't really make sense due to the fact that she is living a secret identity, which, well, that'd be born of lies. Now, let me just break it down. I should have said this earlier, but this is going to be spoilers. Lots of spoilers, so get used to it. So now we are in the present day of the movie 1984, in which we know that Wonder Woman has been, after losing Steve Trevor from the first movie and him dying, she's been pretty much going undercover as a art district. Pretty much she works as an archaeologist looking at pretty much Greek stuff. You're gonna be wondering why I'm talking like this in a certain way, because it's not really designated what she does, because most of the part she does is just go on doing what Barbara does. Doesn't make sense why she's an archaeologist in Paris in Batman vs Superman and Wonder Woman 1, yet she's now in Washington DC as an archaeologist in DC when nobody can figure it out, but whatever. The thing is, now she's fighting crime on her own. So she stops an art robbery in pretty much a mall, which apparently they have black art mall people in a mall. Yeah, that's the thing. Apparently we have backdoor. I can't with that. It's just wow. Okay, next part. Okay, so yeah. Whoo. Just gotta take a second for that one. Okay, let's go through this quickly. So there's literally a bank robbery for ancient stuff, black marketed in a mall. She takes down the criminals apparently she forgot about servers and whatever. She takes down the cameras, does that, and goes on. I'm not going to run you through the entire plot, but that's an important point because it shows that she's supposed to be secret, even though she's holding a secret to the world, telling people not to do it. So she's concerned about taking out the cameras, but is not understanding the fact that people don't work on the honor code, because that's how she stays a secret, and she does it in a bright outfit, which, by the way, I'm going to be doing this at the end of the review, and I'm going to be pointing out what they could have done. So some of these parts I'm going to have to stop and do that, but I think this is an important part for me to mention the fact that if I was the writer on this script, I would have totally changed that to make it, even if it was a heist, at least make it an interesting heist at a place where you would think like an underground base, some sort of thing, and she does it in an outfit that would be stealthy, stealth, not wearing a Wonder Woman outfit. I know we want to see her in a Wonder Woman outfit, but it's not important. It would be important if she used her brain for 5 seconds and said, hey, maybe I'm not wearing this bright gold, red, and blue outfit fighting crime. Everybody can see me. Okay? Whatever. So, back to this main plot. She wishes for a boyfriend back. Steve Trevor. He comes back in another man's body, which is going to be very concerning for a lot of people out there. Yeah. And Barbara herself, she pretty much wants to be a Diana because Diana stopped a rapist. Yep. So that happened. So now there's a new guy in town, Maxwell Lord. He's not really new, but he's more of a, some people are going to say Trump. I don't see that as Trump due to the fact that there's thousands of people who have scammed people, televangelists. The gambit runs on. He's just a mishmash of any person who's a scam artist. That's who Maxwell Lord is. He's all into oil. He scammed people into buying oil, even though he would be an archaeologist because he's looking for, guess what they find during this archaeological bank robbery is the Dreamstone. The Dreamstone is a stone that gives people their wish. It's like the monkey paw analogy. It's pretty much whatever you wish for, something has to be equivalently exchanged, taken away from your life. So something that you preciously love is going to be taken away from you. And so that's what he's searching for. And that's what was during the bank robbery. And that's convenient. Whatever. Then, this plot is just, I don't even know how to describe it at this point. Because at this point, you're just going, there's a lot of convenience, a lot of nonsense, a lot of just, it makes sense in a way where you can go, okay, well, why does a person who's just met somebody, let me just bring it up, Dr. Minerva, I'm sorry, I'm bad with names, so you have to hold on. Dr. Barbara and Minerva is pretty much jealous of Diana Prince, even though she just met her for a day. You don't know what she does in a back alley, what she does in her extra life. You don't know how her friends think of her, but apparently she's jealous, I guess. And that's a thing. And now she wants a boyfriend, and they're going through their house, and then they're fighting. I don't know how to continue this at this point now, because it is so ridiculous. Okay, so Maxwell Lord, let me get back on track. Maxwell Lord pretty much gets the Dreamstone from Dr. Anne Minerva, because she has it in her office, just laid out. And so he pretty much seduces her into giving the stone, and then he wishes to become the stone. Yada, yada, yada. Goes out pretty much trying to grant people's wish so he can take over the world. Let's just get this simple. Because if I talk about this, we can talk about this for hours. Simple. Man wants to take over the world with dreams. Woman gets jealous with her dream to take on Wonder Woman. This is a plot that should be done in a comic book for just a side comic. Like, we want not to introduce Cheetah, but to introduce just to have some fun. Maybe one of those one-off episodes you have on a Wonder Woman TV show. That's what this is. It's nothing impactful. It's not the worst story you could ever think of, but it's like one of those comic books stories where you go, yeah, that's about right. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe a special, maybe a comic book. Because I some once in a while I've bought comic book, the DVD adaptations where it's like the Justice League 52 remake, or the Throne of Atlantis, or Bad Blood, Batman stories. This is what this is, and that's about it. About the story. I mean, I can go into real details of it all, from the fact that they rescind their wish at the end to Maxwell Lord caring about his son, even though they never see the mom. But that's what I'm going to have to get into detail with the next podcast. Let me just wrap this up. Yeah, if you're as confused as I am, then you just watch Wonder Woman. It is a little bit more clear, but at the same time, it's just lazy. and I was not really a fan of the plot. So, yeah, that's about that plot. So, next podcast, I'm going to go into a little bit more details with the characters and their shortcomings. And I feel like that's the next jumping off point. So, podcast number 3 is going to be about characters and their shortcomings. What's important about these characters, what we get to learn about these characters, what I felt like were flaws, what I felt were good parts of them. Because they're good, they're not horrible. Cheetah could have been done better. And Max Lord, Pedro Pascal does a fantastic job. He looks like he's having fun. Gal Gadot, I can't put my... She's good, and she does a great job at the part, but I think there's a little bit, maybe it's the plot itself that's not giving her emotion or anything, because she just doesn't feel, how do I say it? She doesn't feel like she's not in it, but she doesn't feel, it's a little bit stiff and robotic, and that's a big concern. So let me get into that the next podcast. Thank you for giving me this time. That was the plot. It was confusing. Yes. Whatever. So, thank you. Have a nice night. See you next time.